Are leaving? We're just getting started.
Watch it.
Hey,
Watch it.
Wesley, where are your pants, man? Come here. She'll come back and get you. Sorry, guys, rough start. Godfather 1989, what's up? That is a great year, by the way. That's when I was born. That's when I was born! What's up, Justin? Alright, I was gonna start cutting some stuff, but we have some distractions. What is that? He dove down to his head and just bent over and went full moon to the camera.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure how much. What's up, Brady? Oh, yesterday Brady said if I went live that day, he would name his firstborn son after me. But it wasn't in the cards. We were too busy. So I guess that'll never happen. What's up, Jordan? Dude, I'm editing a vlog that I filmed yesterday. And it's just got a bunch of clips of like all you maker vloggers. And I was like going through all your videos to pull out some good stuff. You got some good stuff, dude.
Look. Say hi. Hi. Hi.
Is it really buffering? Gosh, dang it. Well, I'm glad to see Kim's here. Either way. What's up, Kim? New to watching you, but I love it so much, bro. Well, thank you so much, Cade. You're the man. All right, so I just got back from the print shop, and I just printed out... Are you serious? Wesley, what's wrong, man? Life's rough when you're a year and a half old. Awesome, I need to get going on some more videos. Yeah, Jordan. You should, man. You do a great job. Yeah, anyway. Scott Morrell, what's up? Yeah, Jordan, you're, I was watching the video that you did. It's so good, man. Just like that music, it's so different from the typical like vlog, chill hop type edit. I mostly do that just because it's the only music I can find, but that like, old Americana type music that you used in it was kind of bluesy. Oh man, it was good stuff. Cade Watson says, "Hey Whit, forget her. Get out of here. This is my life. This is my time to shine."
Hi.
You are a great man. A great one you are. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. So like I said, I'm about to cut up a medium-sized number 72 satchel. If you don't know what the number 72 is, let me walk you over here. This is one I made. I kind of stayed up late and whipped this bag up right before a Disneyland trip. And I loved it so much. I've been working on that type of bag. We look cold? It's actually not cold out here.
It's
probably just 'cause we have
hats.
hats.
All the time.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this bag. Everything just kind of worked well. The gusset worked well. The straps, I mean, sometimes it's hit or miss, and I've been trying to dial in a good classic satchel for a long time. I actually filmed a vlog yesterday that I'll be editing and talking all about it, but I wanted to do a 15-inch, well, sorry, we're back. Sorry, guys, I got a call. Yeah, so I call it the 15-incher, but it's really, we'll just call it the medium size, but it fits a 15-inch laptop, which is how I'm kind of classifying it. Last time that we launched the field bags, the number 56, that one, right? Oh, little uncoordinated. That tan one and that brown one right there, that's the number 56 field bag. And we launched it and had great feedback. We sold like 200 of them in the first day, but but I had so many requests, like about every other email that came in that day that we launched those, people were like, "Dude, does it fit a 15-inch laptop?" And I had to say no, it doesn't, just flat out doesn't. So I wanted to make sure that we made one that fit this time. I don't know if we're gonna do two different sizes, but I'm just testing out. I really like the compact size of this smaller one, but I think for me, I personally want a little bit of a bigger bag just because it feels a little bit manlier, not so purse-like. But let me see if I can get you set up right here. and I'm just gonna start cutting. I got these two hides from Smith & Edwards. You guys have heard me talk about Smith & Edwards before. It's a tack shop here in Ogden. But they've just got some random mixed batch lots of leather that come in every now and then. I think most of it comes from Hide House, but every time I've found one that I like from Smith & Edwards, I go to Hide House and I'm like, hey, I need this hide. And they're like, we don't have that. So anyway, this is a really cool hide. This is, again, from SB Foot Tannery, which is where Red Wing gets all their leather for their boots. But this is kind of it's chap leather, but it's a split hide, so it doesn't actually have a top grain. You can't even tell a difference from the bottom from the top, but it's real rugged. It's got all kinds of like bruises and dark spots and just all kinds of markings from the tannery. It's like a really rough hide that would probably make a good liner, but I'm just gonna make some bags out of it. They're smaller hides. This one's 15 square feet and this one's 12, but together I should be able to get 2 of these medium-sized satchels. So we're gonna be good to go. And yesterday I cut out 2 sets of the small-sized satchel. This is out of an SB Foot Tannery as well. Just a chap leather. I don't really know what to call it. It was just, I found 2 of them in the same color this is one hide. I found one hide and I was able to get 2 bags out of it. So so we'll have quite a few of these number 72 satchels. Just, these are just samples. I'm not putting them into production yet. It'll be a little bit before I can get the dies made and we actually like pump out, a few hundred of them. For now, I'm just gonna make some one by one by my hand, and I'll just put them on the site, and when they sell, they sell. But this is a little bit experimental, a little bit just recreational. So let's get rolling on it. If you have 2 hides that you're working with, it's usually better to dedicate one of the hides to be just cut for straps. So instead of like cutting 4 or 5 straps out of this one and then 4 or 5 out of that one, I'm just gonna dedicate one of these hides, probably that smaller one, to the straps so that I can use the other one just for laying out all these big pieces and it won't get interrupted by the strap cutting. So, get this rolling. I gotta figure out what side I want the top to be because it's basically the same. Wow, see how small this is? That surprised me. I think that's gonna be the back side. That's our top right there. It's been cold and I actually had these out in our car in the garage for a while. So they're gonna need to warm up and settle down. You leaving? Where are you going?
Kids are too loud.
No, it's fine. Are you going to Walmart? Okay, love you, bye. Okay, I'm not seeing questions again. Thanks for the vids, newbie here, and love all the info. Thanks, Justin. Can you tell us who makes your dyes? Yeah, it's a company called National Dye Incorporated, and there's no website or anything. I just have an email for them that I email them. So if you want the email, just send me a DM and I'll give you their email. But man, isn't it frustrating this day and age when a company doesn't have a website or like some kind of order form? That really frustrates me to the point of like almost willing to find someone else. They're really cool guys though, and they're good to work for, but it's just so much easier if you can just submit your artwork online, get everything printed out, get it paid for, like right on the spot. Man, I might want to warm this up, let it settle a bit before I cut. So much easier to cut when your hide lays down. I think I'm going to cut my straps first, so sorry, be patient with me. I'm going to swap this out. Oh yeah, this one's way small. It's not even that it's small is the problem, but I've got a big cattle brand right in the middle. So that's gonna make it really hard to get any of those big pieces. So this one's gonna have to be straps. Make sure I got enough like long area that I can get some good straps out of it. Yeah, we should be good. All right. I appreciate you guys being patient with me because I have not been very, oh, believe me, man, I love the brand. Sometimes I put the brand, if it's something that's just for me, I put the brand in on purpose, but technically it's a lower grain part of the hide. It could have weak points. It's usually not a good idea to put the brand in on a spot that is like, I don't know. You just have to be careful with it. You don't want to put it in an area that could compromise the structural integrity of the bag. But if you include the brand in your products and you're just shipping them out that way to customers, you'll get accused of all kinds of things. I mean, I actually witnessed that with Saddleback. They had this big initiative. They're like, we're gonna start. It's like our rustic collection. I forget what they call it, but they started including the brands in the hides as opposed to avoiding it, and they just got raked over the coals because people are basically saying that they're doing that just to cut costs. It's like they're like putting a twist on something that they're actually making the bags worse quality by using the bad parts of the hide, and it's saving them money, but they're putting a twist on it to make it seem like you're getting a premium product. And that stuff's always out there. You're always going to get slammed for whatever you do. You do you. That's all you got to do. But I always want our products to come off as quality as possible. I like to use the best parts of the hide that I can. And so in general, I like to avoid the brand unless somebody specifically requests it. But we don't really do custom orders, so that just doesn't happen often. I have to go. My 10-year anniversary is tomorrow. My birthday's Sunday. My husband wants me to celebrate with me. Have a wonderful weekend. Tell Whit said bye. Awesome. Happy anniversary, Kim, and happy birthday. That's amazing. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your weekend. It's not the weekend. What is it? It's Tuesday. It's Wednesday. I learned a lot from your videos. Thanks, Gary. Unfortunately, I have many questions, but my English is not good because I'm Arabic, so it disappeared. If I could ask you, I'll have trouble understanding. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I knew Arabic so I could help you out. Kim says, thanks so much. Happy anniversary, Kim. Right on. Okay, I missed a bunch up here. Finally got my bell skiver working right. Thanks for the help. My servo motor was set to reverse, so that was the culprit. That's what it is. That'll do it. I struggled with that for a little bit at first, too. Watching you from the Philippines. Right on. All right, bringing you back over here. Sometimes I like to draw my line before I cut. It's easier to make sure you're keeping it straight. You'd think I'd buy a new ruler by now, but I don't have this doesn't have the cork bottom, so it kind of slides around on the leather. My big, long, straight edge, like this one, it's got that cork bottom, so it doesn't slip. But sometimes if I just go straight to the cut, you get down here and the ruler will move a little, throws off your whole line. So I'm just gonna draw it out first just to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. I don't have much leather to play with here. Things could go sour fast. I'm always changing my mind on what knife I like to use when I'm cutting. But usually for these initial cuts with the big ruler, I just like to use this because when you run a blade along a ruler, it actually dulls up the blade quite a bit. And so I don't like to risk ruining any of my really good blades. So if I'm going up against a ruler, I usually just use this thing. I've been really liking my Charter-made skiving knife for like getting around corners, like making these kind of cuts right here. Getting around that, it's a really comfortable to make those corners. It's so sharp and it just cuts through it like butter that you don't really you don't fight with the leather as you go through. It doesn't pucker the leather. It doesn't skip. It just goes right through like butter, and you can follow any line. So I really like using that one for curves, especially the really big curves. If I'm using really tight, small curves, then I use my Tina blade, but that's only because I don't have my L indispensable one yet. In fact, where is it? I got an email from someone saying that I've got a package at the post office that I need to go get, and I keep forgetting, but it's probably from Rocky Mountain Leather because I ordered one of those L indispensable blades and a bunch of edge paint, and I haven't gotten it yet, so that must be it. But Teradek from Charter-Made made me a couple replaceable blades for that one, so it's basically the same as this, only you can swap out the blade, which you can't do on this one. So I'm excited to get that one. And I like to use this for the really tight, intricate turns, like these pockets right here. It's got kind of a tight area to go around. Those corners right there, hold on. Those corners right there would actually, right there. That would be kind of hard to get through with a bigger blade, but if you've got a really tiny, precise one like this, you can just get right through it, like butter. So I kind of mix it up with the blades. You don't have to just stick with one. I should have swapped this blade out before I used it because it did not cut through that very well. Amateur mistake. Whenever I do live streams, though, you probably think I'm just saying that because it's a cop out, but I feel like anytime I do a live stream, I get so distracted and I'm thinking about things too much, and I always make little mistakes here and there. Beautiful. Okay, got my straight edge. And I can actually get probably a strap on that side too. Doesn't look straight because it's all, it's buckling right now. God, gotta warm that hide up. So for this bag, I need about 4 or maybe 5. I haven't completely figured it out yet, but it's usually about 4 straps that are about 47 inches long. That's what I try and cut because I double it up. There's the 2 top straps, there's the top handle, there's the 2 sections of the shoulder strap. It's kind of hard to gauge how much straps you need, and you don't want to cut too many straps because then you're going to run out of room for your pattern or for the rest of your body parts. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with 4 on this one because I actually have a little bit of extra room. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Well, I don't know. I might have to reevaluate. I think I need to hold my pattern because I just added up the fact that one of these is 15 and the other one's 12, so I've got around, more than 25 square feet of leather, which is usually more than enough to get. Wait, how much is that? Anyway, I'm gonna have to lay it out. I might just be getting 1 bag out of this because it is the bigger size. Figure this out. Come over here and get some of your questions. It disappears. Oh! Love it when that happens. What type of leather are you using and thickness? It's about 3 to 4 ounces. And I don't know much about the leather because like I was saying before, it's just part of a mixed lot, just a mixed batch that I get from a place called Smith & Edwards. It's like a tack shop. And so every now and then I just find really cool hides that I want to try out. I hate is this just because it's mobile? It's like, it's clipping right here on my sewing machine. It's blown out in the window. It's making, I'm like a real stickler for lighting and video quality these days and can't handle that. I've been looking at like ways to really improve our live streams by using like multiple camera views. I want to be able to use my Sony while I do this, but it all came down to my computer being too slow. It just couldn't handle it. And so I either need to get a new computer or just be happy with this stupid iPhone live stream. Anyway, I was saying this hide it's kind of a random one. I don't know much about it. I do believe it's chrome tanned. It's like a chap hide, but it's got a really tight grain on it. And yes, Jordan, we love our hats. Thank you so much. I kept meaning to send you a message about that. Jordan and I swapped hats. He sent us a couple of his with his logo on it. We sent him some of ours. Always love doing that kind of thing. But yeah, it's like a 3 to 4 ounce chap leather, but it's really tight grain. It almost feels like it's vegetable tan. Like I think it'll burnish really well, where usually the softer like oil tan hides like this, kind of fuzzy edges, they just don't burnish as well. But this one kind of acts like it's vegetable tan. So again, I don't know enough about it to say, but that's why I'm doing these one-off hides. I'm not gonna, if it's a leather that we sell regularly, that it becomes like a, flagship part of our product line, then I like to know everything about it. And that's why most of our products come from Wicked and Craig. But I can't turn down, some cool random hides that I'd find out and about. I see lots of stuff that I just want to try out. So when I do, it just makes sense to make them up, sell them as like a one-off kind of thing. And, it's just fun to experiment. I don't like to limit myself to just like, I have to use one out of these 3 colors or one out of these 3 types of leather for everything, when there's so much good leather out there in the world. All right, gotta stop blabbering. What did I decide the top was? Ooh, these both pretty good. I think that's the bottom, but I'll cut from the bottom. So I'm just using my trusty Tandy strap cutter. This thing's, it's not like one of those expensive draw gauges, but if something's not broken, then don't fix it. I've always been eager to let me rephrase that. I always assumed that when I went out and bought all my first tools that one day I might have to like graduate from my Tandy tools. And that's just not the case. I love just about everything I've gotten from Tandy. I love it. And they actually have like a huge selection of stuff. They're just like an amazing one-stop kind of thing. But anyway, so this is the same strap cutter that I've been using for 5 or 6 years. And if it's not broken, why fix it? Why replace it with something else? You typically cut 1-inch straps for your bags? Yes, I do. I just kind of have like a standard for all that. Like my shoulder straps, I just go with 1 inch. And then I have a shoulder pad that I put on it. But I just like that 1 inch. Okay, I got one. I think I'm actually gonna go for 5. But we'll find out for sure on this one how many straps I actually need. I still have a bunch of straps left over from the first one I made. Right here, you can't see them, but that's why I cut too many on that one. I should have paid more attention. That was the night before our Disneyland trip. I was just going buck wild. Uh-oh. Sorry, it's probably buffering. my battery's about to die. But I made that bag the night before our Disneyland trip, and I was just up late. I was like kind of scatterbrained, just trying to get it done. I had kind of shut down everything, like social media, emails, my phone. I just like shut everything out and just went into full focus concentration mode. And yeah, and that's what came out of it. But sometimes in those late nights, you don't really like plan ahead. You'll see in the vlog that I'm posting tomorrow, though, I usually take like really extensive notes for the first product that like if it's the first edition of a product that I wanted to make, then I will just take extensive notes so that I know when I go back the second time all the little mistakes that I made, and not really mistakes, but just things that I would probably do differently to make things easier. Where'd you come up with your brand name? I'm struggling coming up with something that implies strength but beauty for my own leathercraft name. Yeah, it's a toughie. I don't know. It's actually kind of a long story, but my dad and my brother-in-law and I had talked for years about starting a gun shop in Heber City, Utah. And things were like really moving along quick. We had like a location picked out. We had a business plan. We had some financing, and things just fell through really quick. It was around the time of the big gun control scare. That's probably a funny word to somebody who is for gun control. Because anyway, but yeah, for us guys who love, you know, shooting guns as a hobby, it was a scare because things were just being banned quickly, and it was really hard to get certain ammo, and it was just kind of like we're like, oh man, do we really want to be risking this much capital and overhead in a time where we're kind of unsure with what's going on in the gun world? You know, we don't want to go out of business within the first year just because of legislation or something. So anyway, I don't know, it just, everyone kind of got cold feet and backed out. But I had done a bunch of branding work, just logo design, marks, icons. I had even started working on a website a little bit, but the name was Stock and Barrel. And after things kind of fell through, I was just like, well, I've already done all this work. I would love to apply this. I had just started getting into leatherworks. I'm like, it'd be really cool to kind of apply all this stuff that I had done for the gun shop, but apply it to my own business and my leatherwork, and it just fit really well. I mean, we don't make gun products. We don't make holsters and slings and stuff like that, but it just kind of ties into the whole like old American West, the classic Americana kind of stuff that's like always driven me in this work. I gotta go, got class soon. I appreciate all you do. Gosh, thank you so much. Man, we want a video about your journey and how you started. Well, cool, thanks, man. Well, I'll do that. I'll write it down. I've got a whole list of videos I need to make. I'm kind of holding out, though. There's a reason. You guys will find out soon. There's a reason why I've been holding out on videos. How many did I cut? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got 5. I really need to see how many of these pattern pieces I'm going to get out of this. Hold on. I was pretty certain I was going to get 2 of these, but after rolling it out, I'm like, I don't know. These are a lot smaller than I pictured, I guess. So let's say we'll get this here. That doesn't even leave enough room to get that up there. Holy cow, that's tight. Try this over here. This is the biggest piece. So we'll say there and there. Oh, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get 2. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I guess there's enough square footage, but there's not enough usable. It's probably a pretty low grade of a hide, which, by the way, there's kind of a misconception about that. When you see a hide that's a lower grade, it doesn't mean that it's a lower quality. It just means that there are more spots on the hide that, so it gives you less yield. A really high grade hide will have like no flaws, but the actual quality of the leather, like the tannage, everything, it's the same as a low grade. It's just you don't have as much area to work with on a low grade. So that's kind of like, this is a good example of that. We just have a lot of like, scarring coming into the hide. It's got some really crazy shapes, so you don't have the typical like full side to work with. Anyway, this is gonna be way too small, so looks like we're just gonna make one bag. Are you Derek from Big Brother? Yes, I am. I have no idea who that is. But yes, that's me. I think what I'm gonna try and do, normally I would cut out 2 of each at the same time, but I think this time I'm just going to cut one out, and then we'll see if there's enough room to cut a second. But man, see, I already don't have enough straps. I'm just gonna do one. That's what you get with a live stream. You get all the indecisiveness that you don't normally get. Bringing you over here. Did you cut that hide off my dog? It's leaking blood all over my living room. What? That's a real weird thing to say, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know. But no, I did not cut this off your dog. Are you, love your stuff. Glad you do these vlogs and live feeds, teach us your ways. Well, thank you. If there's anything particular you guys want to learn about, like the whole process of building a bag, I'm happy. I would love to know, because I'll be doing a more thorough and detailed video on making a bag. Right now, you're just kind of catching one part of it. I'm just going to be cutting stuff out. That's all we'll have time for. Someone else must have done it then. Okay. I don't know what you're saying, man. All right. This is the most important piece right here. This is what gets seen the most. This is the front and the back of the bag. So not only do I want to avoid scars, but I really like to pick a beautiful part of the hide. Like, I like this corner, just happens to be in a good spot of the hide, but I like it because there's kind of a darker spot up here. Right here. You're getting like some darker values in there. And I actually like that. I don't want it to be too uniform and consistent. I like it to have a little bit of, little color variation, especially on the front. So that's gonna land right on the lid. And I think it's gonna look good. Man, it's killing me though, having this hide all, it's cold, so it doesn't want to sit down. We should talk about your weird dog comment made me think about this. But we should talk about, animal rights and using animal products in my business. I'm not a vegetarian. I'm not a vegan, obviously. But I have very mixed feelings on the whole subject in general. And I actually had some lady was just raking me over the coals on social media a couple weeks ago. She was actually like taking video. She was like hiding in some meat packing company. I don't even know where she was, but she was like filming just some of the process, and the workers were like spraying her with hoses. But anyway, here's the thing. I 100% can see and understand why there's an argument for veganism. The reason I bring this up is because I don't believe that there is any good philosophical argument against veganism. I don't like how some animals are treated in some factories in some parts of the world. I think that's a difficult thing to address. It really is. I've learned a little bit about Wicked and Craig, which is one of our primary tanneries that we work with, and they use animal byproducts. So it's cows that would have been used for the meat industry anyway. Their hides, instead of going to waste, we're using them. I'm not using that as some kind of social justice platform, like we're doing some great deed to society, but I just, again, anyway, I need to read some of your comments, because if you have some real good philosophical argument against veganism, I would love to hear it, because I honestly don't believe there is one. I've kind of fallen into this, I love leather products. I love how versatile leather is as a material. I think that there is so much good that comes from sorry, I keep reading comments as they're going, and then it sends my mind into two different tracks, and I forget what I was even talking about. But let me just answer some of these, because now I'm get all distracted. Don't let them get you down. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not down about it at all. I'm fully aware of what's going on. Here's the thing. On almost every, let me change this. I'm actually much less of a conservative person than I may have let on before. I most of the time land in a very center place, just because I've thought about so many issues for so long, and I always end up in this kind of a middle ground where, and I don't want to be the guy that sits on the fence and can't decide which way he lands. It's I don't want to be some milquetoast yes man, but I actually see a lot of value in landing in that middle ground and having sympathy or just having some compassion for people on both ends of the spectrum, because in the end, everybody just wants the best for people in general, for humanity, and for, everyone's kind of standing up for what they believe is true. And if you can get in their mind and understand what they're trying to say, or what they're really trying to get at, then I think, honestly, it's such a cliche thing, but I think the world would be such a better place if we all just could kind of step into each other's shoes and try and understand where they're coming from, or what's causing somebody to believe a certain way. So no, I don't hold, if there are any vegans out there that just vehemently despise what we do, disagree with what we do as leather crafters, I understand why. I just want you to know that. I get it. I hear you. So honor the whole animal and use the leather, thin leather design. Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that is a cool way to look at it. You're really honoring something that, yeah, I like that. Hello from Spanish. I didn't know Spanish was a place. Hello, vegans are lame. There's the reason. Okay, explain that though. Let's talk about it. Why? Why do you think that? Look at it this way. You are recycling the hides instead of them going to waste. Yeah, well, that's what I was mentioning before. I mean, that's kind of something that helps me feel fairly good about what we're doing. But in the end, I'm still a big meat eater. I eat steak on a regular basis and bacon, and so I am who I am. I mean, I think that there are definitely things within the meat industry, and there are things about our culture that we could improve on, but I'm certainly not about to give up meat and give up leather. But again, I don't have a good philosophical argument for why. That dude is just trolling. I know, man. He's just throwing stuff out there. Hey, Crabtree Leather Co. Which leather did you pick up? I've been hunting for some Wicked and Craig 3-ounce traditional harness in black and buck brown. Yeah, Bill's been just cooking, trying to get caught up with everything. He just moved into his new space. He's got a couple new employees. Like, he's just tearing it up. But I wouldn't be surprised if, like, maybe some stuff's out of stock. He's just scrambling to get everything. You're preaching to the choir, man. I feel the exact same way you do. Well, cool, man. I'm glad because as a leather audience, I would imagine that there are some strong feelings in here, and so it's risky saying something like that. Again, I'm not saying I'm a vegan, not saying that I'm not landing on any direction there. I'm just simply saying I understand both sides, both schools of thought. That's where I stand in a lot of issues, honestly. Makes it hard to vote, to be honest. I do find myself to be fairly conservative on a lot of issues, but when it's more of like I'm standing in the center, kind of leaning a little bit right. But man, I see a lot of good arguments for so many of the issues out there, and then there's also some really dumb ones. I hear from both the far right and the radical left. I hear some really stupid things, and that's why I really like it here in the center, man. I love it. I think if you can just understand where people are coming from, understand what they really want in life, and it's just the betterment of other people. And being in California, I've been approached by a number of vegans. It shows I do. 98% of them have really respectful and understanding where we're coming from. Yeah, cool. How much opposition have you experienced using leather? Do you feel like you've excluded any communities in particular? No, just a few people in my own personal life that I know. I had somebody that was like, hey, I love that you have a business and that you've grown this and you've found some success there. He's like, but I can't support you because I'm a vegan. If you ever change that, if you ever decide to use, vegan materials for your products, I'll support you. And I was like, that's fair. No, I am. I do feel libertarian in a lot of ways. I wouldn't go as far as say like I am a full libertarian, but yeah, there are some very libertarian aspects of my thinking. I stand with liberty. That's where I was with Prop 2. I think people should have the right to choose. Jason Brady and I looked a lot at them to see what it like. A lot of them sold out. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff sold out. Hashtag Plant Lives Matter. Honestly, I thought I'd have a lot more opposition. I thought there would be like a regular, as I started getting into leathercraft more and more, I remember thinking, I'm probably just gonna have a constant stream of hatred. I might have buckets of blood thrown on me as I walk out somewhere. Just that, I kind of pictured that. I figured there's gonna be a lot of opposition, but there really hasn't. I've been pretty surprised. Crabtree, I threw a little clip of one of your videos in my vlog today, just so you know. A lot of you maker vloggery guys, if you posted in that group, you're most likely gonna have a little cameo in my vlog that's going up tomorrow. I couldn't get everybody though. I would have liked to, but it was just getting really long, and I, can't comb through hours and hours of footage. I kind of had to just limit it to the ones that were right in front of me. Man, what's crazy about this leather is it doesn't scratch up. Oh, sorry. I got to go get my charger. It keeps pausing because we're running out of battery, but okay, hold on. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have a charger out here. I used to. Well, shoot. Looks like this live stream is going to get real short. Thinking about some of these comments, and it would be very interesting to see the business side of Stock and Barrel without invading your privacy, pricing, marketing. Yeah, I love that, Mick. I'm glad you said that. I've always thought about ways I can include more of that without it being too boring, because I want to keep that, you know, as part of our history. I want to remember that when I look back. I want to see all the moments. Like, so many of the conversations I had today, I was on the phone for hours for lots of different things. And I would love to document that, but it's really hard to think of ways that you're doing it as, you know, like to tell the story, but also keep it entertaining. Yeah, but that's great. I'm glad to hear you say that, because as long as I know people want it, I'm definitely more likely to do it. I thought it could be an interesting niche to try and work with. Do you know of any sources to get vegan leather? No, I don't, honestly. I honestly didn't even know about vegan leather until just a couple months ago. Someone was asking me if we have it, and I was like, I wouldn't know where to get it. I don't know anything about it. How did you first start selling your leather work? Social media. Social media. Yeah, that's really it. When I started an Instagram page and just started going bananas. Posted every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. And I built a website on WordPress using WooCommerce, and just that's all she wrote. Yeah, I really leaned on Instagram for a long time. YouTube has like come into play in a big way. But yeah, I've done a video about this, like 5 things you need to do to sell your leather work. And I kind of go into all that stuff, like how to use social media, how to use photography and video, how to, tap into the right audience and market. But it's just a mixture of all of that. It's really hard when people say, how did you do that? Like, how did you create there's so much that goes into it. You really can't just narrow it down to like 1 or 2 sentences, but in a broad way, it's social media. We would not have a business right now if it weren't for social media. Cork fabric, type in Google, search for it. Yeah, the cork stuff's pretty cool. Good suggestion, Becky. Oh man, I know I'm about to lose my battery here. I'm 8%, but when you're streaming, that goes really fast. So I'm gonna end it right here. Thank you guys so much. Sorry I didn't actually do much of this here. You guys know me. This is what I do. Whenever I get on a live stream, I just want to chat. I want to hang out. So yeah, sorry for the lack of vlogs. I'm gonna be posting one tomorrow morning. So Quicksilver. Is that Thomas? Thanks, Thomas. Yeah, and I'm gonna try and do some more live streams. I just hate this. The quality, the colors, the lighting, it's terrible. You guys have no idea how much it drives me nuts. So I need to buy a new computer pronto, something that can handle my live streams from using Sony's. And anyway, all right, guys, it's been real. It's been good. It's been real good. All right, we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye.